Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fed Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 10th, 2015, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the markets, first at the economic calendar, not much on the schedule today. New Zealand dollar later today, big number coming out for New Zealand dollar. It's a rate change. So it may have effect on the New Zealand dollar. But for our majors, let's start with the Euro USD. Not a big day yesterday for the Euro USD, as we see it flatlined yesterday after several attempts to challenge these base points. We challenged 110 last week, and then we tanked. And we tanked further after the NFP number that came out on Friday, and now we're trading at 107. So generally, when the Euro USD gets weaker, okay, the Dow should get stronger, but that didn't happen yesterday, and we're going to look into that. We're just now looking at the Dow Jones. We tanked yesterday about 200 points. It could be that investors are just taking a little bit of a breather, some booking profits after this really colossal rip since the end of September until this date. And historically, the Dow Jones rallies between about this period or closer to the end of the month until December time, until the end of the year. So we may still see that and challenge these upper levels up here as long as the markets are still very strong. And if you look at some of the major bellwethers in the States, they are very strong. The Amazons, the Priceline, the Facebook, Apple's still very strong. These are all stocks, of course, and these are really the bellwethers of the U.S. economy today. Okay, it's no longer an economy based on traditional goods that are provided, but more the services, and these service companies are making money. So ostensibly, the markets are and quote unquote should continue to rally. But looking at some of the other commodities and looking at some of the other Forex pairs, oil pretty much flatlined yesterday, but we are at $44. Generally, this should be a buy signal, okay, because we've tested this several times before and we haven't breached it. We're still in the winter and we're entering the winter. Usually consumption of oil is much greater, and thereby should, because demand is greater and supply is still relatively on a balanced level, prices should go up, quote unquote. Okay, should is never a guarantee. So looking technically here might be a good place to actually pick up the oil if it continues to trade in this range between $44 and $49. Just be careful if it does breach this $44 to get out, and make sure you cut your losses short. Looking at gold here, after tanking, we mentioned this yesterday, after tanking over 180 something points, we're trading at 1092, and we're just barely holding by a thread. We're not really bouncing hard. Question is this continue to go down, or is it going to just flatline here? I think we're going to consolidate at these levels here, but as you can see, not much going on yesterday since last week. It's been kind of quiet since we've made this, big trend down, okay? And the question is it going to continue going down? I mean, looking at a weekly chart, you can see that we're still making lower highs, continuously making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So, we're at the, I would say we're at a certain base point here, and this is really vitals, because if we do break this, I definitely think that we could hit 1,000 and even 800. I'm very bearish, and I've been bearish on the on this commodity for a very long time. I do feel that it still has way to go down, and we could even hit 982 level. Okay, this is my prediction, and that will mean that it's going to be very negative for the USD ZAR. USD ZAR, as you know, has been trading closer to 14 level and just breaking higher, okay, and there's no end to sight. This is not such a good graph, but if you look here, every time we come back down, we break up higher. Every time we come back down, we break higher. So ultimately we're at almost or close to 1430, which is all-time lows for the ZAR, and it's been very, very weak. So you can hedge your ZAR by buying dollars, okay? If you could short the ZAR, okay, and buy dollars essentially. So trading this against your own currency isn't the end of the world. You're not a bad person for betting against the ZAR. But it's still very, very weak, and the dollar is relatively much stronger. I mean, it's affected the ZAR much harder just because the ZAR has been so much weaker than all the other currencies. I mean, we're looking at the CAD here. The CAD is also pretty weak versus the dollar. I mean, just a year ago, we were trading at 1, and now we're at 132. So, I mean, that's an extreme, extreme move for something like the Canadian dollar. I mean, Canada has a pretty stable economy, and things are generally decent there. So the dollar against most of the currencies across the board has been very, very strong, and that's due mostly to the strong economy in the States. But you could gauge for yourself. There's like I said, many opportunities recently on several levels. So let's just recap today. Looking at gold, let's see if it's going to break that level at 1090 and continue breaking down. And if it does, I'd really get aggressive in shorting it. But if it does turn around, just be careful because you're at the bottom of the move. On oil, perhaps it'd be a good idea to buy it in the anticipation that it's going to trade range between $44 and $49. The Dow Jones, always been a good play between 4:30 South African time and 11 o'clock at night. It's generally trading within those time ranges. The open is generally better because it's more volatility. And looking at the Euro USD, I'd like to see some sort of momentum in it. Nothing really happening in it over the past couple of days. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.